So we lost the first game, despite it being pretty close on Mulligan at 5. The main deck Obstinate Bailoff was problematic, and that's something it's hard for me to play around a card like that. Unfortunately, it's basically what did us in. So for sideboard, we're bringing in Fulminator Mage. It's very good against, he's playing a ramp deck. It's very good interacting with its non-basic lands, again. I can assume he's playing Blood Moon, so it's also a card I can cast under Blood Moon, which is oddly enough another reason you typically bring in Fulminator Mage in those matchups. We're bringing in Collective Brutality. It's another way for me to interact with his mana dorks, and for also interacting with his hand, taking out his ramp spells as well as maybe Primal Commands and cards like that. Zealous Persecution kills all of his mana dorks, and is a way for me to also swing a game in my favor, depending on if it becomes a board stall. So is a very good card for that. Maelstrom Pulse is similar. It can take out multiple permanents of the same name. So if he has 2 of the same elf or 2 Utopia Sprawls, or even like a Primeval Titan we can kill, or Inferno Titan we can kill with this. Engineering Explosive is similar to the Maelstrom Pulse, just another card that answers a bunch of 1-cost cards, preferably a lot of his Utopia Sprawls and Mana Dorks, which are the cards that typically let him beat us in the matchup. So also to kills Blood Moon, which is nice. We're taking out Lingering Souls. It's very slow and clunky in the matchup. He plays Titans and Bonfires, so it's unreliable for us to try to keep Spirits into play for multiple turns of the game. Path to Exile is really only good against Primeval Titan or Inferno Titan, which I assume he only plays a couple copies of. I assume there's Stormwrath Dragons in there, being that he mentioned it, and again, it's usually in the Ponza list, and that does nothing against that, and Pathing the Mana Dorks also does nothing. We're taking out one Fatal Push. It's probably the one card that's the actually not bad in the matchup, but again, we're bringing in a lot of answers to his dorks that also have more utility. And we want to keep in, most of our threats are fine in this matchup. We just need to be able to apply pressure as we're disrupting him.
I'm not sideboarding. There are some cards that I felt might be relevant against the type of deck that I saw, but at this point I'm going to keep everything as is. And basically I'm going to respond off of his sideboard when I see it.
Alright, well, we're going to hope that Obstinate Bailoff does not show up when we have Liliana again, because that was very problematic. Here you go. Good luck, sir.
Good luck to you.
Alright, I will choose to play. Alright. Alright, this hand is very slow for the matchup, though being on the play makes this hand a little better. I'm not particularly excited about it, but I think between this card and this, there's enough stuff to do that I think the hand is worth giving a shot.
I'm going to mulligan because although this hand has no ramp, has no interaction, and has cards like this and these two, which I'm not going to be able to cast for many turns. So we will mulligan. Being on the draw also helps because that way I can scry and fix my my hand a little better.
Mm-hmm. Game 1 being on the draw would have definitely given me a better chance to win that game. But unfortunately you can't choose that before you mulligan. Now this is always a curious thing. A lot of people don't play this in their Abzan lists. But because I'm playing 2 of these as well as a couple other things in the mana base, I find that cards like this are required to in order to make sure that your mana is functional for other cards such as this in the deck.
Going to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's slightly better. Since he fatal pushed my my first elf in the first game, these cards are definitely relevant to keeping my mana base active. So I'm going to keep this. We are going to scry. We very much like that card. We want more of that card, so we will keep it.
Alright, I will play Stirring Wildwood and pass to you.
Untap, keep draw. We will forest. We will elf, and we will pass.
Draw. Alright, that is a very good draw for us. It allows us to interact with him in this turn, which we're not going to be able to interact with him. So we will play an Urborg and Fatal Push this elf.
Yep, we expected that. That's why we weren't worried.
Pass the turn.
Untap, keep draw. We will Windswept, and we could wait, but why bother? We're just going to crack and get what we need to get.
Mm-hmm.
So we're down to 19, and we will pass turn.
Draw. Alright, now, this turn, I want to crack this in case a Blood Moon happens next turn. we'll be able to have some semblance of mana, though it could still be problematic. So we'll go ahead and play Verdant Catacombs and crack it, going to 19. Well, obviously with the Urborg in play, we probably just want to grab a forest. Also, in case Blood Moon does show up, we play more swaps than forest, so it gives us better outs to drawing the way out. I will attempt to cast a Liliana of the Veil.
You got it.
Alright, we will hope an Obstinate Baloth is not waiting in the wings for me again. We will plus the Liliana to 4. We're going to discard this card because I think that holding on to the second copy of this is worth it, and these other 2 cards I think are better to play next turn.
We do have a Baloth. We will discard and put it into play.
That is very unfortunate. You will gain 4. I will pass the turn.
So I'm at 23. Alrighty. So unfortunately, we didn't draw the particular ramp I wanted to, but so we'll have to be delayed a turn. So we are going to bail off. We are going to kill the Liliana,
Okay.
and we are going to pass.
Alright, that was one of the worst case scenarios that could have happened to us, unfortunately. We will hope to potentially come back for it this turn. Alright, we will cast another Liliana of the Veil.
Alright.
I will make you sacrifice a creature.
We will discard
No, I will make you sacrifice a creature.
creature. My apologies.
Alright, we will play another Stirring Wildwood and pass the turn.
We will crack the Wooded Foothills at the end of your turn. We will grab a Stomping Ground.
Again, it is unfortunate that he has had Baloth both these games. But again, it is a hard thing to play around, especially in the first game. But even in the second game, we can assume there's only a couple copies in the deck, most likely. So again, it is just a hard card to play around in that spot, and Liliana is one of our best ways to disrupt him. So you kind of have to go for it there and just kind of hope the Baloth doesn't show up.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Our deck is not cooperating with us, but we still have responses. We can bonfire and we can redirect it to Lily and kill Lily.
Sure.
So we are not doing well this game. Go ahead.
Alright, I will draw for turn. That draw is fine in this spot. We can hopefully save it for something he gets next turn. We're going to lead off with this card because this will give us the most information going forward. We'll play Inquisition of Kozilek. And he has a Thrun and 2 forests. Okay, so we're not going to hit anything with that, unfortunately. Well, that's fine. We'll go ahead and play Scavenging Ooze and pass the turn.
We'll crack the Windswept Heath, and we will just grab a basic forest.
Alright.
That puts my life total at 21.
Alright.
We want a basic forest just in case I do eventually hit a Blood Moon. I am not overly red.
Well, again, this one is kind of problematic in this spot. It does a good job of holding me back.
Alright, untap. I'll keep draw. Yes, I'm not feeling confident about this match. I do believe I will lose it.
That seems unlikely.
We will Birds of Paradise in case he has another Lily and causes me to sacrifice a creature. The rest of it we will go ahead and Thrun.
Yes.
And then we will sadly pass turn.
Alright, at the end of the turn, we will activate Scavenging Ooze, exiling the Arbor Elf in your graveyard. I will gain a life and put a counter on this.
We will exile.
And there are no more creatures in here.
No more.
There is a
Baloth.
Baloth. There's that. So we'll go ahead and draw. That was a good draw. That is a card that will hopefully let us put pressure on him in the future. We will start this turn by attacking with Scavenging Ooze. His blocks are not very good, so we can assume he will take the damage.
I do have a 4/4 Thrun.
That's true.
My life total is a little higher. I will take the damage, put me to 18.
That's fine. He goes to 18. We will go to the second main phase. We will cast a Grimflayer. And we will cast Collective Brutality on the Birds of Paradise to kill it. Give me -2/-2. And pass the turn.
Now, do you have Delirium?
I do have Delirium.
Okay, now we are in a problem. We need to Miracle. Untap, upkeep, draw. We do not have a Miracle. We will land for turn. We do, however, have an answer. We will Primal Command.
Okay.
Two best modes would probably be to gain life and to grab a creature. So 7 life. I'm at 25.
Maybe- Okay.
And we will go for broke, and we will Inferno Titan. Even though I know he took out his pass, I would still pick this card as I did before the last game, because even if he has a path, I will still get value out of it.
Alright. Anything else?
Nope, I will pass turn with my 1 card. Hopefully he does not have a
Alright.
Liliana, and he will take my 1 card. That would be sad.
Alright, let's see. Creatures in the graveyard again.
2.
There's a birds and a Baloth. Alright. Let's see. I will go ahead and move to combat and attack with both of my creatures.
Take it.
Alright, before damage, we will go ahead and exile your 2 creatures in your graveyard. I will gain 2 life, and the ooze become a 5/5. I have no creatures in my graveyard, and so I will have you taking 9 damage.
That puts me down to 16,
Alright, I'm going to trigger this Grimflare.
which is sad.
3. I think that this card is good, and these cards are not good, so we're going to put these 2 in the graveyard and leave this card on top of my deck. We'll go ahead and play the Overgrown Tomb tapped and pass the turn.
All right.
It says 3 counters, not 2.
And I am definitely feeling it. I have enough to cast when I need to cast, but we'll see what else we get. That is worthless. So we will go ahead and we will cast the Inferno Titan.
Sure.
We will assign the 3 damage to you, since neither one of those will affect your creatures.
That is fine. I will take the 3 damage.
And then I will move to combat.
Me at 19.
Move to combat, and I will attack with a Thrun.
All right, I will go to. I was at 22. We're going to go to 19 from this, yes, and then go to 15, or go to 15 from the thumb.
And I will pass.
All right. Well, luckily the card on top of our deck is very good in this spot, so we will draw it. So we will just keep on trucking along with this Grimflare and Scavenge Ooze and hope to finish this game quickly. We'll Motion Pulse the Inferno Titan, and we'll go ahead and exile it from the graveyard with Scavenging Ooze. And I will gain a life, and we will attack you for 10.
That puts me to 5, I believe.
I will trigger the Grimflare.
6. At this point, my only hope for winning is to rip a bonfire.
So at this point, this card doesn't feel like it's worth a lot. This card is fine, and I think we just want to put the creatures in the graveyard, but could do the Scavenging Ooze. So we're going to go ahead and put those 2 in the graveyard and leave this card on top of our deck and pass the turn.
Yes, as you can tell from his tone of voice, he thinks he's going to win this game. I can't say that I cannot disagree with him. We will.
That's not a bad draw.
We will do you another 3, and we will pass.
Sure, we will go ahead and exile my Scavenging Ooze to gain a life and put a counter on my Scavenging Ooze. The oozes even need each other to survive. We will draw for turn. All right. Well, he is. We can force him to have to chump block this turn, and that is exactly what we will do. We will Motion Pulse the Titan, and we will go to combat.
Can't believe you got 2 of those.
And attack for lethal damage. You are blocking the Grimflare.
I have no choice.
Well, I will have you taking lethal damage.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Because if you get the Grimflyer triggers, then it opens options, and I will die anyway.
Well, I think it's better to take the risk off the top of my deck than take the guaranteed loss. That doesn't really matter.
Yep, see, I would have died anyway.
Either way.
Grimflayer is a very bad card to allow you to have triggers for. Because, yeah, you would have injured her as close as my Throne away, and that would have...